video. Anyhow, today we're going to do episode 1 and episode 2 of The Bachelor, all combined in this lovely little video. So, with that being said, let's go on Peter's journey with him.
Please subscribe by mashing that subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell so you'll know when I have videos. Please like and leave comments below. Also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok.
Alright, so the first thing that we saw on episode 1 was a preview of the end of the final rose episode. And basically you saw Chris Harrison tell Peter, before you do what you're about to do, you need to hear what I need to say. Or, tells him something that is catching our attention and really wants, I really want to know what is going on. I mean, what is so important that you all just found out about and is making this man so upset? What do you think it is? No, seriously. Seriously, what do you think? My husband thinks he knows. What do you think it is?
About to marry the dude.
What? Justin thinks he's about to marry a dude. I think, this is my conspiracy theory, I think that it could be Hannah B has made up her mind and wants him back. I think that's the reason why his mom is crying and saying, don't let her go, bring her home to us. I think that's why, because Hannah B she wants him back and he wants her. I don't think that he ever got over her. That's my personal thoughts, just based on these 2 episodes. So then we move on to the rest of the preview, talking about some of the girls. Some of them I actually have favorites, like Hannah Ann. She, even though she's not really a fan of some of the other girls in the house, I do like her. I think he likes her very much too. Another one that they showed a preview of was Madison. And I really like Madison. She seems kind of more up his alley, more, up for adventures and things like that. I really do like Madison. They also showed Tammy. Tammy was a little hardcore. She's a little tough cookie. And then they also showed Victoria P. I like Victoria P. I truly like Victoria P. I like her story. Her story was just so heartwarming. Those are just a few. I think the other one was Natasha that they showed, and Natasha's a little spitfire. She truly is. Like, she tells it like it is. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. So then, after the preview of some of the girls, they moved on to him coming out of the limo, meeting Chris Harrison, and then meeting some of the girls. Alright, so the first person out of the limo was Alea. And they say that the theories are the first person out of the limo or the last person out of the limo are the final, the final people. So Alea was the first one out of the limo, and, well, technically, Hannah B was the last one out of the limo. But if you are counting just the girls, technically Natasha was the last one out of the limo. If you're counting just the girls that came there to go on this journey with him. So, some of the entrances that I liked were the suitcase girl. I mean, it was a bit bizarre. Like Chris Harrison said, that's some David Copperfield. Just quoting that one. You know. Anyhow, let's see. I like the emotional support cow. That was kind of funny. Ashley P. You know, and when Chris Harrison first talked about that, in meeting the girls, he said Ashley P, and I'm sitting there, okay, she's bringing another bachelorette to, you know, the show. I wasn't thinking it was going to be a support animal or cow. I was thinking it was just going to be another human. So that part was quite interesting. The car, Lexi in the car. He liked Lexi a lot. I could see it. He liked Lexi a lot. And the car was fabulous. I would, if I could drive, I would like that car. Just saying. So, you know, those are some of the entrances that kind of stuck out to me. One that didn't really stick out, that was kind of just or a couple. One was the paper airplane. Very cheesy. I mean, she tried, but it was cheesy. The windmill, that was played up so much this episode. The first episode was a lot about the windmill. Some girl came in dressed as a windmill, and the other one's like, 4 times? 4 times? Yes, 4 times in a windmill. No big deal. It's a windmill. And yes, he had sex in a windmill. It happened. Get over it. Then, you know, after all the girls get then they go on to the cocktail party, and kind of get to know the girls, and, you know, they have conversations, and I thought that part was a little boring, especially the fact that you couldn't remember who the girl was that said she had a dry sense of humor. I mean, that's saying something right there. If he can't remember what her entrance was, then apparently she was not memorable. So, I could tell there were some girls he was like, yeah, and some girls he was like, maybe. Who knows? So, then, after the cocktail party and he gets to know people, he gave a first impression rose, and that went to Hannah Ann, and she is actually in my top 2, along with Madison. I have to admit, I have read a few spoilers, so, I mean, who knows? I mean, Reality Steve has been wrong in the past, at least once or twice, that I know of. So, I just read them just to kind of get a, feel. But anyhow, Hannah does come back. But Hannah Ann is the one that got the first impression rose. And like I said, I like Hannah Ann. She's bold. She's, she goes after what she wants, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think the other girls like it too much because they get after her for, stealing them like 3 different times. But, I mean, if that's what he likes, then that's what he likes. So, Hannah Brown does come back this first episode. She wears a really pretty, very gorgeous red dress. And I'm thinking this is the time where she actually comes back and says that she wants, to have another chance. not the case. I was actually surprised a little bit. She just came back to give him back the wings that he gave her during their season, or her season of Bachelorette, which is very sweet and understandable as to why she would give them back. You know, the girls got a little jealous at first, but I think they understood in the end why she was there. And she wasn't there to kind of go after him. She was just there to give the wings back. So after Hannah and gets the first impression, they move on to the rose ceremony, and there are quite a few girls that go home. Some girls are sad, some girls are not happy at all. So they have the rose ceremony, some girls go home. Let me tell you who goes home here. So some of the girls that went home this time around was Avalon, and Avonlea or Avalon. I liked the name. The name was really pretty. Jenna went home, and Kylie and Megan, just to name a few of the ladies, went home. And then they went on to their first group date. And during this group date, they went to flight school. And they went through this contraption that would spin them around and upside down. And one of the girls gets very motion sickness. I think it was Victoria P. She gets very motion sickness, but she toughed it out. And I was very proud of her for sticking it out and toughing it out. And Peter actually said the same thing, like, you know, good job, yay. And then after that, they had a math thing, and they asked questions like, how high is the Mile High Club, and, you know, things like that. And then they had an obstacle course type thing, and in the end, Kelly won a kind of a special plane ride or helicopter ride with him. It looked like she had cheated by doing the obstacle course wrong, but they didn't really say there was any rules. They just said you had to complete it. You know, so I mean, technically she should have followed the obstacle course, but yeah, you kind of, I don't know, Kelly plays by her own rules, just saying. And it looks like he actually really likes Kelly because he got to meet her prior to the show. So it looks like he's kind of smitten with Kelly. So then after that whole first group date, and they have their little get-together talk, you know, they have conversations and stuff. I believe Kelly gets this first group date rose. And then they go on to Madison gets the first one-on-one date. And she goes to his parents' house where they are hosting their wedding vow renewal. She gets to meet the parents and the family and gets to, you know, be there with him during that special time. My opinion on that, I personally think it's real quick, too fast. I think that meeting the parents on the very first date is just, it's too fast. Especially during that kind of moment. I personally wouldn't have brought a guy that I had just gotten on the first date with during that date to a family member's wedding vow renewal. That's just too soon, too fast. my personal opinion, because we're talking about the Bachelor world where anything is possible. You know, you gotta be quick. So anyhow, then they went to have a conversation and had a dance, and then they brought the family back. I think they should have left the family out. I thought, you know, they should have had that romantic moment, you know. But maybe they were celebrating the parents' wedding renewal, you know, like a little wedding reception, and that's cool. Then they had the final group date, and lo and behold, here comes Miss Hannah Beast Brown. Again, I'm like, oh my gosh, here we go. She's gonna tell him. So she reads the story about how they did it in a windmill, which was just plain awkward. I mean, to say that story in front of all the girls he's dating now, that's just awkward. Very awkward. So then they're told to write some, I guess, their first, or, you know, some story about, you know, an embarrassing moment or something. I don't know, some kind of story. But then, you know, later on they never really got to tell those stories. Hannah and Peter went and had a conversation, and he basically said, you know, what would you say if I asked you to come back? And then it looked like they were gonna kiss at one point, but he backed off and said, no, I no, and kind of left, you know, and then canceled the rest of the date, saying he needed some space, in a sense, like he just couldn't emotionally deal, and then they came back later on that night, and he said basically that he had put Hannah in the past. The girls were pissed about this whole situation, and I don't blame them. I mean, that's the second time they've seen Hannah, you know, and then he kind of puts the date on hold. I mean, I'd be upset too. It's like, gosh, do you want your ex more than you want to get to know us? I mean, I understand that, why they were upset. You know, but I'm not saying Hannah was wrong, in a sense, like, she's trying to kind of, like, follow her heart too, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. You gotta go after what you want. But anyhow, so then, you know, Hannah does not come back, and they go to their group date. And so Sydney won the second group date rose. I like Sydney. I think she's very nice, very easygoing. I think they have good conversations. So that is who won the second group date rose. Before that rose ceremony, when they had the cocktail party, Kelsey had set up a champagne, little romantic thing with champagne and candles, and told the other girls, like, you know, I'm gonna talk with him, and got upset when one of the other girls kind of, like, you know, went and talked to him. And then she was telling him about this whole thing that she had set up about the champagne and so forth, and then all of a sudden they hear a pop in the background, and I'm sitting there, oh, someone has gotten the champagne. Lo and behold, Hannah Ann and Peter were drinking the champagne, and Kelsey was so upset. Honestly, I feel like that you know, I'd be upset and, you know, whatever, but she just would not let it go after a while. It was the same old, well, she stole my champagne, and Hannah Ann's like, no, I didn't. I didn't know it was yours. I really didn't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you feel like this, but I didn't do anything wrong. You know, and I understand that, you know, Hannah Ann didn't really know. And she was doing all she could to kind of smooth the situation over and make things better. But there was really nothing that could be done after that. What was done was done. So, you know, they go on to... So, alright. Then they had a rose ceremony, and so Courtney, Lauren, and Peyton were the three that got, you know, no roses this time around in episode 2. Then they had a group date where they went on a modeling show at Revlon. Revel. Some fancy store, fancy clothing store. I want to say Revlon, but I don't think that's right. And they each had to model some clothing, and a few people actually stuck out to me during this. I like the wedding dress one. I thought that was very creative because nobody else really thought of that. I thought some of the girls looked a little desperate. You know, butts hanging out, pushing their boobs up, you know, like, hey, type things. Victoria, I wasn't really crazy about the lingerie. I thought she was a little desperate there to get his attention. But with that being said, she did come out of her comfort zone, which was, yay, Victoria. You go, girl, because some of those girls are models. They know what they're doing. But I feel like Hannah Ann did a very good job at modeling and deserved that. You know, and then Victoria is just crying all the time there. Like, oh my God, I can't do it. I'm so nervous. Like, girl, suck it up, Cupcake. You got this. You've got this. Model the best you can. He's not asking you to be a supermodel. He's just saying do the best you can, you know? And the best you can is all you've got in the end. So, anyhow, that was all for episode 1 and episode 2.
So this list that I'm showing you is my top picks. I do have Madison on here and Hannah Ann as 1 and 2. See, there's Hannah Ann. And it also tells who's gotten roses and who's went home. Kelly, I have as number 5. Because I don't think she's in the final 2. I don't even think she gets a hometown date, is my guess. I also have Lexi as number 6. There's Madison. Savannah is number 3. Victoria F is number 4. And those are my top picks.
If you like my video, please subscribe and click that notification button so you know, or bell, so you'll know when I have videos coming up. And I'm hoping to be better with these uploads, especially with the Bachelor ones, you know, because I know you guys like them, like right now, which is cool. I'll have a few more coming up this weekend, and, you know, hopefully you guys enjoy these, and, you know, feel free to follow me or send me comments about what you guys want to see. I've got a few other videos that people want to see, and I'm going to try and make the best I can. So, anyhow, I will talk to y'all later, and I hope you enjoyed this Bachelor episode 1 and 2 combined. Have a great day, and we'll see you for next week's Bachelor. Bye!